for their feature go. Ben Morabito picked up the win on week number 2. He will lead the field to green. Ben Morabito in the number 17. Bryson Brinkley going to go second in the number 24. Killian McMahon going to start third in the number 2M. Allison Johnson, the winner on week number 1. She starts in the 4th spot. Owen Zacharias in the number 35 starts 5th. Brian Rundstrom in the number 88 starts in position number 6. Inside row number 4, it's Marty Roberts from up at Churchill, Tennessee in the number 55. Michael Flatter from the number 4 car. Michael Flatter, that is, in the number, or Mitchell Flatter in the number 4 car starts 8th. Ellie Gossett starts in the 9th spot in the 77. Finn Buckley from Waxhaw, North Carolina starts in the 10th spot. Bobby Mayers going to start in position number 11 with T.J. Moon starting in the 12th spot. Eli Russell starts 13th with Hunter Morgan 14th. Jeffrey Beck is on the inside of row number 8. Chase Spalding is on the outside in the 16th spot. Caden Wise, Joshua Shine starting row number 9. Lillian Pellizzeri and the Moo car starts 19th. Mason Gubick starts 20th. Mandy Lee is 21st. Addison Schumann 22nd. Cole Gudmestad, that is, in the number 1 car. Christopher Conrad, Sarah Weitzel, and Ryan Likens, your 26-car field. 20 laps the distance. Round number 3 for the Bandolero Outlaws, set to go green as we are here at America's Home for Racing, Charlotte Motor Speedway.
All right, everyone, tighten it up. We're coming to 1 to go at the line. 1 to go at the line. All right there, 17:24. Next time by at the stripe. Nice and easy. As a reminder, you do have a second race later, so keep your heads up.
20 laps, 20 minutes. See what we're going to do here in the Bandolero Outlaw features. Bryson Brinkley on the high side. Ben Morabito on the low side. Here they are at the restart line. Green lights are on. The Bandolero Outlaws making their ways down into turns 1 and 2. Good clean start at the front of the field all the way back through. And they're side by side, 2 and 3 wide back through the field, making their way to turn 3.
Hold your breath, folks. This is intense. Off into turn number 3. And everybody, for the most part, gets off of turn number 4. We complete lap number 1. And up front, they are all chasing the 17 of Ben Morabito. Mercy me, these kids, well, this is why they've got the experience. They are the Outlaws, after all. 3 and 4 wide. They get through a lap and a half without an incident. And, man, some great racing up front.
Man, oh, man, they are putting on a show at the front of the field. Owen Zacharias got to have his mom and dad just about doing backflips down there with that run up to position number 2. We stay green. We keep rolling. Zacharias right off the back bumper of Ben Morabito. Morabito, the race leader, a regular up at Riverhead Raceway on Long Island. Zacharias, a regular racer down in Florence at South Carolina. And we've got Bryson Brinkley, who is a regular over at Wake County and Raleigh. Got drivers that run all over the place here, all running in the front of the field, the best in the business, and they're continuing on here to complete lap number 4.
And that is part of the appeal of the Cookout Summer Shootout. You get drivers from all over the region, not just all over the region, but all over the country, descending here on Tuesday nights to figure out who is the best of the best. And it's part of what's given us the legacy that is the Cookout Summer Shootout, celebrating year number 30 here this season. But up front, they're going to be celebrating some passing soon. Man, these guys are getting after it after encountering some slower traffic that had an issue earlier in this race.
Ay, ay, ay. What a great job of driving by everybody back through the field. You see a side-by-side battle back there for position number 5, side-by-side for the 7 spot, and the margin at the front of the field might be closing as well. Ben Morabito has the lead, but Owen Zacharias right there about 2 car lengths behind. Zacharias, the Florence Motor Speedway track champion last year, licking his chops back there. Lost a little bit that time, though, off from turn number 2.
Yeah, you're going to lose something every now and then when you try to find some speed behind the wheel. Zacharias knows that's what he has to do. And look at this gaggle behind him. This is about 3rd, 4th through, well, half the field for that matter. Back off into turn number 1. They continue to be just nose to tail magnets for the most part, gluing those bumpers together as they continue to race 2 and sometimes 3 wide back here at the tail end of the top 10.
Yeah, that's Allison Johnson. She is the outside to the win back on opening night. On the low side of her is the 88 of Brian Rundstrom. We talk about other racetracks. Brian is undefeated with trouble turn number 2. Well, we got turn 2 and 3. Brian Rundstrom, the 88 car, we're referencing him up at Langley Speedway. But there's Lily Empilizzeri in the Moo car. She's the wrong way around in turn 3. Mandy Lee is the wrong way around in turn number 2.
Right,
so what a great start to this one, though. 8 laps of just ferocious racing, and we're finally under caution.
21, let those cars by you. 21 in the back, pull out a line there, let those cars by you. 1, 28, 11, go ahead and pass.
Ben
21.
Morabito in that number 17
Pass
car
them.
is the race leader. Morabito from Miller's Place, New York, has
41
3
and
wins
go ahead and pass
last
the
season here in the
21 as
shootout.
well.
Picked up the win on week number 2. Owen Zacharias, 4th generation racer. Had a chance to catch up with Owen last night. He was
28 up 1, 28
Owen
up
was
1
testing
spot.
here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. His dad, Steve, owns Florence Motor Speedway down in South Carolina. Steve couldn't be up here for
Choose and
testing
one,
because
choose
they're
and one, choose
introducing
and one. Make
and
your choice,
installing a
make it
brand new
obvious. Make
scoreboard.
your choice and make
Yes.
it obvious.
So
Very nice.
Florence Motor Speedway continues to evolve and make improvements down there. So Steve was installing the
out,
scoreboard
15
while his
out,
son Owen
16
was
out,
practicing here
9
last
out,
night. Bryson Brinkley there in the
77
3rd
out,
spot. Saw his brother Blaze pick up a
39
late model
out,
stock win
5 out,
up at Wake County a
36
couple of
out.
weeks ago. That's a great racing
11
family. And
out.
boy, I'm telling you what, we're still thinking about Allison Johnson. That ride she gave that 15 on opening night, no man's land, if you will. The outside lane took it to everybody and drove to the win. She's out there on the outside of row number 2. I am
tighten
sure
it up
she
on the
has
back, we're coming to
thinking
green.
about maybe
Tighten it
trying
up
to
on the
duplicate
inside
that
lane, we're
effort.
coming to
So
green.
see what happens. 8 laps down, 12 laps to go.
Green flag will be out this time. The thing with Allison Johnson, though, Steve, it's a lot hotter. It's a lot slicker than it was on opening night. We'll see if that outside lane still has the grip that she found to get that win here in the opening round of the Cookout Summer Shootout. And off turn number 2, here we go again. They're 2 wide. They're 3 wide. They thought about 4 wide. And into turn number 3 we go. And yowzers.
Yellow, 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 yellow,
Amazing
yellow,
to me
yellow,
that
yellow,
Finn Buckley
yellow,
was the only
yellow.
car
Stay
that
right
spun
there,
around.
16,
Now,
stay
other
right
cars,
there. All
Killian
right, come on
McMahon
out.
went off course. The 77 of Gossett went off course. But amazing when you have them racing that
Did not
hard
complete the
inside the
lap.
top 10 and a car gets crossed up in front of everybody. We could have totaled about 6 cars there, and that wouldn't have shocked me as well. What did shock me is that Finn Buckley, the only car that did go around, we're under caution yet again here.
Here's a replay. Take a look. Watch there about the orange car, Marty Roberts, and you'll see that's about where all this starts. And like Steve, you said that how we didn't wad up a whole half the field, I do not know. Everybody doing a good job going to the turf, going to the chicane for the Bank of America Roval to do everything they can to get around. And here's another look at it. Watch right here. You see they're 3 wide and kind of committed, and Roberts ducks underneath of Johnson and pinches some cars
16
behind
is
him, and
the
that's just
involved car
Bandolero
to the
racing
tail.
for you.
I'd like to remind you to stop by Cookout after the races tonight to shake up your rotation with a delicious char-grilled burger, hot
All right,
dog, or one of their
drivers, I'll line you
40-plus
back up
fresh
by your
shakes. Nothing
twos.
pairs
Like
better
all
with
your
race
numbers,
day
get to the outside.
than
I'm only
Cookout.
going the outside.
A mint
35.
chocolate chip shake. I'm
Yeah.
telling you, that's the
Indeed.
best.
Indeed. Those of you watching on
69,
Flow Racing, a
35,
big week coming
59,
up tomorrow night. Cars Tour at Caraway.
71,
Kyle Larson going to be in the field there, as well as all the great Cars Tour drivers, legends and
39,
bandoleros. This weekend, the
5,
headliner, the
36,
Harley
11.
Davidson 200 up from South
36,
Boston
you're on the
Speedway,
outside, go up there
and
and
that
grab
is
it.
part of the
11, you're
Virginia
on the
Triple
outside, go up
Crown
there and
late model
grab it.
stock. Late model stock racing here in the area goes through a fall season of big races, and this is the kickoff one of all of them. We'll go to Hampton Heat up in Virginia and then get into the fall season. The Harley Davidson, Thunder Road Harley Davidson 200 at South Boston.
yellow, everyone.
ARCA West is at Irwindale this weekend. Pennsylvania Sprint Speed Week has Lincoln and Port Royal races. Lucas Oil Dirt Late Model Series from Dresden, Ohio. NASCAR Weekly Racing Series from Riverhead, Berlin, Jennerstown, Florence, La Crosse, Alaska Park. Smart Modifieds are at Caraway. Flow Racing. Those of you here at the racetrack, if you don't know what we're talking about, it's Flow Racing. You can check it out for all great racing action. Those of you tuned in to Flow Racing, check out your listings to see when those and so many more races are going to air over the next 4 or 5 days. And The weekend doesn't end on Sunday. The weekend ends on Monday, right back here at Charlotte Motor Speedway with round number 5, Dad Vibes Night. Oh,
boy.
Dad Vibes Night here at Charlotte Motor Speedway Monday night. Oh, wow. Going to be big, that's for sure.
And then we go blow stuff up the next night.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Three Fingers Mordecai is going to be here with a fireworks display on July the 4th.
Ho ho! Oh wow, Steve!
Wow, just learned.
Wow.
Jonathan Coleman bringing the heat right now. One of our main men here at Charlotte Motor Speedway just whispered in our ear that we're doing fireworks on the 3rd and the 4th. The 3rd and the 4th we're doing fireworks.
2 nights. I don't know if I can stand that.
Well, we'll see if Three Fingers Mordecai remains Three Fingers Mordecai, or if Wednesday he becomes Two Fingers Mordecai. We'll see
Or
what
one.
happens. It's going to be a big display both nights. Ben Morabito, Owen Zacharias, Bryson Brinkley, Allison Johnson, your front 4. Here we go into turn number 3. Off turn number 4, 8 laps have been completed. 12 laps to go. They're at it again down into turns 1 and 2.
Everybody filters down on the brake pedal right to the bottom on that white line in turns 1 and 2. That is generally the faster way around. And yet again, here we go. 2 and 3 wide off into turn number 3. And we emerge relatively unscathed, and they're still all chasing Ben Morabito. But up front, there's going to be a challenge for the lead from Owen Zacharias. Here he comes off turn 2 down the backstretch. It's side by side for the race lead.
Owen Zacharias on the inside. Ben Morabito on the low side. Bryson Brinkley licking his chops back there. Don't count Marty Roberts, the 3rd out. He's in the hunt as well. Side by side for the top spot. 10 down, 10 to go. This is a dandy here tonight at Charlotte. And Owen Zacharias by about 1.5 foot has it. Well, Ben Morabito closes it up on the high side.
Oh, Morabito slides. Zacharias slides as well. New leader here at Charlotte. Owen Zacharias to the point with 9 laps to go. And Ben Morabito said, excuse me, I don't think so. He has gone from now defense to offense as Ben Morabito. He's typically very fast here, but now instead of playing from a position of advantage, he's going to play from behind, try to find a way around that 35 car.
Yeah, Owen Zacharias is a champion in his own right, though. Picked up the Florence Motor Speedway Track Championship last year. 4th generation racer. The family originally out of upstate New York. We got one the wrong way around in the middle of turn 2. And another one's coming in. Caution flag is out. Barrels are flying. Oh, what a mess over in turn number 2.
All that started when the 39 car, Chase Spalding, went around all by his lonesome, and everybody else trying to avoid kind of piled in. And, well, it's already been a barrel of fun down there in turn number 2. First barrel casualty of the afternoon.
And track crew's going to clean up the cookout barrels down there. There's Owen Zacharias leading. We talk about this. 4th generation racer. His dad, Steve, raced Thunder Roadsters here at Charlotte Motor Speedway and has a win, if I'm not mistaken, in Thunder Roadster competition here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. His grandfather, Bill, was a modified racer up in upstate New York, and Bill does a lot of work, kind of the GM right-hand man down at Florence Motor Speedway for Steve and the family down there. Bill Zacharias and his grandmother Tina, just a great racing family. But I'm telling you, this thing is all led by his great-grandfather, gentleman Jim Zacharias, 95 years old and going strong. Now, he's retired from racing, but he is going strong. Saw they had a big birthday party for him during the off season. And the Zacharias family, they have been racers for a long time. Gentleman Jim Zacharias, his late wife Shirley was so into racing as well. Shirley Zacharias, nobody had a bigger passion for racing than her, as not only her husband, but all of her boys. I think there was 4 sons that all raced. And right now, the great-grandson, Owen Zacharias, not only racing, but leading here at Charlotte Motor Speedway.
17 out.
In fact, choosing this time around the start-finish line, and Morabito has picked the top, Zacharias the bottom. So we'll keep an eye on this to see how it pans out. We've only got 8 laps to go in this one, so this choose could become a big influence on how this race pans out.
39 ineligible to choose. Grab the inside lane.
Owen Zacharias, Ben Morabito, Bryson Brinkley, your front 4 out of our front 3 automobiles.
10 UN out.
I got TJ Moon
go all the way
having
up.
a nice run. TJ Moon is the points leader in the INEX points.
Tighten
And
up,
really does a nice job there. Boy, they're going to run over that pace car. About
Tried.
Holy cow. I don't think that restart's what we're looking for.
Yeah, Bubbles didn't even wave the flag. I don't think that's going to work.
Well, when you're straddling the pace car, I don't think that's what we're looking for on a start.
Yellow, 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 yellow for the start. Yellow,
Yeah, I'm not
yellow,
very
yellow,
intelligent,
yellow for the
but
start.
pretty sure you're not supposed to run over the pace car.
Right back where you were, everyone. Right back where you were. Got to stay off the pace car. Got to stay off the pace car.
The instructions on the receiver, guys, you've got to stay off the pace car.
Green. Let's tighten it up. Let the pace car pull away.
Well, you don't have to, but it helps.
Here we go into turn number 3. Ben Morabito on the outside has multiple wins, 5 wins this season, all the way from Winter Heat over to Nashville and everywhere else. Now trying to get another one. He won opening night here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Owen Zacharias has 2 wins this year. Oh, around goes Brinkley. We got a big mess in turn number 1.
Yellow, 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 yellow.
Wow.
Holy cow, smattered, covered and smothered down there. There might even be some chunk down there as well. See that, earlier on, we talked about Finn Buckley spinning and everybody avoiding him. That's generally what we see, is what we saw down there when Bryson Brinkley went around. Holy cow, what a mess. Here we go. 3rd place car on the inside. Watch this.
Everybody trying to stop, Steve. And what some people don't realize, these cars only have 1 brake rotor and a solid rear axle. So if you've got the wheel turned and you hit the brakes, more often than not, that thing's going to start to come around on you. And a lot of these kids, you'll panic and you'll hit the brake pedal and around they'll go.
I think the number 55 is going to rejoin at the tail of the field, what I heard from the officials. I think he's going to be put back there. You see barrels flying, too. They got a little bit of everything going on. Watch this now. And, boy, what a pileup.
So with all this, I think we've come up with a new conclusion.
And that is?
There are some places you go, they're scattered, they're smothered, they're chunked, they're whatever, right? There's what, Carolina style in a burger,
no
right?
doubt.
We need to have a cookout burger shootout style.
Shootout style.
Shootout style. That needs to be done by the end of the summer. That's my challenge to our friends at Cookout. Yes, yes.
That's a good challenge, too. Of course, we'll have to taste test all of the options.
Absolutely.
All of the options will need to be rigorously
I'll let everyone
taste tested.
know who's involved.
So we're going to take one more look at this. And I think the list of cars that's not involved is going to be shorter than the ones who were. The 55 of Marty Roberts there, the orange car, you see him get to the 24 of Brinkley. And from there, it is anybody's guess as far as who was or was not involved. Holy cow.
See Killian McMahon. We see Ellison Johnson skittering off the racetrack. Man, oh, man. TJ Moon involved, across just and front-running cars as well. Now, what this does, Owen Zacharias is still the leader. Ben Morabito runs second.
Right,
this puts Brian Rundstrom up in position number 3. And Brian, we talked about, he's 4 for 4 at Langley Speedway, but he also has wins this season at Southern National Motorsport Park. Dominion Raceway has a couple of wins at Wake County Speedway. Has a win at Shenandoah Speedway. So when you look at Rundstrom there, he has 8 wins this season in that number 88 car in the 3rd spot. 8 wins this year.
Wow.
That's really, really stout. The thing of it is those 8 wins are at, like I said, Southern National, Dominion, Wake County, Langley, and Shenandoah Speedways. And so I think that's 4 different racetracks. Pretty good stats.
Pretty diverse.
Sure. Yeah, pretty diverse, that's for sure, for Brian Rundstrom.
And what's considered a perfect season, so to speak, is what they refer to as a 100-point win. and that's a maximum of 20. That's all you can do. Technically 19, because the Nationals in Las Vegas for the Legend Cars and Bandolero Nationals, which will actually be here at Charlotte on August 12th. That's a Saturday. If you're finished in the Nationals, also counts towards that 20 race total. So if you have 19 wins coming in the Nationals, you're sitting pretty, and he's well on his way with 8 so far this year.
Yeah, 8 wins. That's pretty solid. That is for sure for Brian Rundstrom Jr. in that number 88 car. And the way this thing is going, and as hard as Ben Morabito and Owen Zacharias are racing each other, not 100% sure that he might not be able to get another one here tonight, because they are good. Of course, this is round number 3. Round number 4 of the Cookout Summer Shootout is coming up later on this evening. So 2 chances to get some wins here in Bandolero competition this week.
Watching him get the field realigned from how they were previous to that incident as they came to the green, and I don't know if you saw it in the replay, but I saw it in my eyes. But the 6 of Bobby Mayers, he's right now about 5th in line. When they came to the green, he was 16th, Steve. He got shoved aside before the wreck, through the turf. He was sideways, drifted all the way through the grass, rejoined the field, missed the crash, and now here he is somewhere about 6th or 7th right now. So what a piece of fortune for Bobby Mayers that his bad luck very quickly turned to good luck.
Bobby Mayers, great job. Great family as well. His dad works up at Front Row Motorsports, and really cool. His mom's a preacher. She's a pastor in the area, and so really good family, and they love their racing, that's for sure. Had a chance to hang out with him a little bit last year on the Southeast Truck Series, Southeast Legends Tour, Bandolero Racing, and he has Burn Boot Camp on the side of the car. That's Wendy Venturini. Of course, you can catch Wendy Venturini on PRN, all of their coverage, and Burn Boot Camp, Wendy Venturini sponsoring the Bobby Mayers car, the number 6 machine.
5 of Morgan, you're behind the 9 of Moon. 5 Morgan behind the 9 of Moon, up 3 spots. Hang tight, everyone. Trying to get your lineup as correct as possible. Trying to get it right for you guys. Come all the way up. 15 of Johnson, come all the way up behind the 5 of Morgan. McMahon. Moo car, come all the way up behind the 77. Moo. Behind the 77. One car, come all the way up behind the Moo. 1 behind the Moo. 1 car, come all the way up. Cole Goodmestead, come all the way up. Cole Goodmestead, come all the way up behind the Moo car. Everyone tighten it up. Everyone start to tighten it up. Cole Goodmestead behind the Moo car. Tighten it up. Tighten it up. Lineup's now correct. We'll be lights out at the line. This is a single file restart. Green and time flag, green and time flag.
Track caution lights are out. Owen Zacharias, Ben Morabito, bring him off from turn number 4. And we do have the time limit flag as well. So the next flag ends this race. Let's hope it's the checkered flag at the end of this one. But right now they make their way up off from turn number 2. Owen Zacharias the leader, so we're 12 laps deep in. Oh, Morabito gives him a big shot in the keister, slides him up the racetrack. Zacharias able to hang on to the top spot.
Don't know if he was expecting that or not, but he did a good job holding on to Owen Zacharias. That would have probably sent any other driver askew off turn number 4. They're tangled up behind him, but still headed the right direction, so he will stay green. But right now, Owen Zacharias has got bigger problems to worry about, and that's Ben Morabito in his rearview mirror, all over his back bumper. And as you said, Steve, Brian Rundstrom back there in third, just praying something happens between these two, because he is sitting in the catbird seat if something were to go askew.
Off turn number 4, they come this time by 5 laps to go. Owen Zacharias brings the car off turn number 4 down to turn number 1. Ben Morabito runs in position number 2. Those two cars, a little bit of a separation. Rundstrom runs in 3rd spot. Jeffrey Beck runs in 4th. Eli Russell runs in the 5th spot. The battle is up front. The battle is in turn number 3. The battle is off from turn number 4. Looks like Ben Morabito sizing him up for another run at Owen Zacharias.
Yet the race lead is where it's at with now less than 4 laps to go off turn number 2. Zacharias a mere car length over Ben Morabito. They continue to race further back in the field. Off turn 4, Owen Zacharias going to see 3 fingers from Bubbles Bronson, the flag stand, and just 3/4 of a mile. Oh, and we've got cars sideways, stop, and yellow is out, and that means Owen Zacharias is going to win round number 3 of the Cookout Summer Shootout in the Bandolero Outlaw Division. And Owen Zacharias will get a chance to chat with Lenny Batycki in Cookout Victory Lane here in just a moment.